Hey, what's going on, guys? Lance Camarillo here with Acting Out Studios here on Brandon's Corner.
Let me spit some knowledge to y'all real quick. Agape love is an unconditional love. It's a love that sees beyond the outer surface and accepts the love for who they are.
Yo, I just want that agape love. Never falls down, no one's stopping us. Always and forever, man, that timeless love. Maybe I just want that agape love from up above. Don't want no other love. And maybe I just want that agape love. It never falls down, no one's stopping us. Always and forever, man, that timeless love from up above. Don't want no other love. And maybe I just want that agape love. It never falls down, no one's stopping us. Always and forever, man, that timeless love from up above. Don't want no other love. Yeah, don't want no other love. I just want that agape love. Yeah, don't want no other love from up above. So where the love at? Yeah, say where the love at? Yo, say where's the love at? Say where's the love at? Yo, say we need that. Yeah, gotta have it. We need that. Yeah, gotta have it. We need that. Yeah, gotta have it. We need that. Yeah, we need that. Agape love is all I need. Consistent love, a timeless dream. Agape love.
Hello everyone, how we're doing today? Welcome to another successful episode of Brandon's Corner. I'm your host, Brandon Cleveland. Today I have a very special guest here with me, okay? He is originally from Texas. He graduated from the New York's Conservatory of Dramatic Arts, where he actually...
Done your research, all right?
I have. Yes, he actually graduated from the New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts, where he was actually able to do multiple plays, including Pinocchio and The Crucible, just to name a few. His acting actually led him to Los Angeles, where he was actually able to do some acting coaching with stars such as Zendaya, Anneliese people from Wizards of Waverly Place, The Sweet Life of Jack and Cody on Deck, just to name a few. And here recently, in the year 2013, he actually was led to Atlanta, Georgia, where he began to do demo reels. And in that, doing demo reels, he began to find a love for Georgia. He actually wanted to be here just only for 12 months. However, he ended up doing so well here that he's been here all the way on up to now. Right now, I introduce you to Mr. Lance Camarillo, who is actually the owner of Acting Out Studios, where he does demo reels, he does production, he does acting coaching, anything in the acting realm, he does it. I welcome him.
Cool, man, bro. That's an intro. Hey, you did your research.
Yes. So I want to ask you, how did you get started in the acting industry?
For me, I got into it my last year in high school. I was a senior, and I've taken all my credits. I had nothing else to take. The theater lady used to always wave to me as I used to go to the band hall, and I had one more class to take, so I was like, man, why not take theater? Like, how hard is that to pass? Got into it, fell in love with it, because I did percussion and piano for so long that I used to spend hours just practicing and perfecting like the littlest things, you know. So when it came to acting, I kind of transferred everything I learned to music to acting, and so we did our first midterm was Hamlet, To Be or Not to Be, and so like when I got the script, I took it home. I obviously memorized it. I watched the film. I read the whole script, and like I really got into characters. So when it came to I was doing the show or whatever, all the actors went up one by one, and they were like, to be or not to be, that is a question, whether it is, and they'd bring it up, tis nobler in the mind, and I was like, oh crap, and I was like, hey, Miss Adam, I really overdid this project. I was like, I thought, it was this, and she was like, no, and she was like, show me what you did. I was like, no, because I'm rolling around and stuff, and I was like, everyone's just reciting it, I was like, I'm so sorry, and she was like, no, I want you to do what you're doing, and so I performed the whole thing, and she literally said, she's like, where the F have you been? She's like, you're just now getting to theater, and I was like, man, I didn't know, like, I thought, this is what everyone would be doing, and I just fell in love with the work. Like, I really enjoyed the work that goes into it, and the rest is history. Went to college, and I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know you said that school was your first time ever really, I guess, having experience with acting.
Mhm.
But do you think that in any way childhood influenced that?
Yeah, because as a kid, during the summer, I used to have a little camera, and I used to reenact Jim Carrey's I used to take films. Like I really enjoyed it. And it's so funny because I'm a producer now on top of the directing. But as a kid, I never had an editing system, but I had two VHS players. So I would put a blank VHS, and then I would have another one in my parents' little thing. You would put the tape in the VHS and pop that in, and so I would hit play and record, and that's how I edited my scenes to make like a little clip. And then I just did that for fun because like I don't know, I don't even know where that came from. And I would play it back, and it was terrible. I'm sure we still have them somewhere in a garage. But as a kid, I did that, and so once I got into college, like it's just crazy how God works. That I was already doing that as a kid, and I didn't even want to be an actor at that point. It never even crossed my mind to be an actor. It was crazy.
Wow. So tell me more about Acting Out Studios.
Yeah, man, we're here in Duluth, Georgia, which is pretty close to Atlanta, about 20 minutes out. But yeah, we really focus on, I have such a huge passion on helping people get started. There's a lot of scams, there's a lot of crap out there. Me being an actor, me spending all my money, my time into this stuff, I've seen where the shortcomings are with other companies, and I wanted to start my own because I was just like, man, like for a lot of companies that I worked with, they weren't even performers. They weren't even like in the business really. Like they were like, oh, I've done, I talked to a celebrity and now I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's like, wait, what? Like you've never even been an actor? Like how can you teach? It's like me being a basketball coach and like I'm going to teach you the ways of basketball. I never played the game myself, but I'm going to get you to the NBA. And it's like, who does that? So I really just had a passion, even just like the seminar that we just finished, like people are like, hey man, thank you for like the honesty, and like they really feel sincere about like, man, I feel safe here. And I think that's the biggest compliment for me, because it's not so much us being a business and making money, but I want people to see our integrity. I want them to see that we care, that we are genuinely trying to help people out, So yeah, that's what we're really known about in terms of demo reels, acting classes, and doing it right without having to break the bank.
Great. So you mentioned demo reels. Can you tell actors why is it important to have a demo reel?
Yeah, so a demo reel is going to be all of your footage of all the professional stuff that you've done to show a casting director, or you can put it on your profile on Actors Access. It's basically like a digital resume, but it's mostly stuff that you've already booked, like from a TV show, a movie, but when you first start off, none of the actors have that stuff. So we, as Acting Out Studios, we actually create that content for you. So we have like 700 scripts to choose from. We'll find out exactly what you're in need of. We'll help customize the screen for you, for the script for you, so that when you go out and you're looking at performing, whether it be with us or what have you, we'll help you find like that typecast, so that when we produce the scene, it's going to help you get more jobs. So if a director's like, hey, you got a good look, and this happens a lot, they're like, cool, yeah, I like to do the film. They're like, cool, send me over your demo reel, because it tells them everything of what you can do, because it's a professional setting, and so we really customize on creating demo reels for those that don't have it, because it's, if you don't do it through someone like us, then you have to do it the old way and hope to God you book something amazing, and then you can use that footage. But casting directors now are saying, hey, send me over your reel, but you're like, but I need that job to create the reel, and that's the catch-22, so before you just got the job, now they need the work from your job to get the job, and it doesn't work that way, so that's where we come in and kind of fill that gap. If cast director is asking for a reel and you obviously can't get one because you have no work, because you need a reel to get the work, we'll create that for you so you can get that work.
So everything now is no longer really going into an audition. Everything now is digital. Wow. Okay, so I was looking at your resume, and I saw at one point you were doing, I think it was something in a hotel. Am I right?
when I first started, yeah, we were at the Holiday Inn.
How would you recommend to an actor to juggle having to live life and try to do this acting this acting thing at the same time, as far as finances is concerned?
Oh, absolutely. The biggest thing is finding something that's very flexible. you kind of have to be ready for anything that comes. It'd be great if you can make your own schedule. That's why I feel like a lot of people are like Uber drivers, something that where you have control, the flexibility of what you can do as an actor. That's big. There's a lot of jobs. You just have to do the research of what's out there, and hopefully that's a season. It's temporary to get you to where you want to be as an actor. But you got to have control over that stuff, because if you work an 8 to 5. That's going to be a little hard. Now, granted, taped auditions, they have a due date, but when you do book something, you got to be willing to take off 2, 3, 4, 5 a week, off, so that you can do that job, So flexibility is key. There's a lot of jobs out there. You just gotta do your research, find out what you can do that you have the flexibility to do that kind of stuff.
Great. So what is because I know a lot of people here, they're non-union. Okay, they're independent.
Yep.
So what are the benefits of being with a union, and what are some disadvantages of being with?
Well, I mean, if you're with the union, it's great because you're making great money. You probably have an agent, but once you're part of the union, you can no longer do non-union work. So that's where that sucks. A lot of people can get into it too quickly, and they don't have a resume to back up with themselves being in a union. So why we encourage people being non-union, really build up that resume, and when it's time to switch over to union, that's a conversation you should really have with your agent, so that you make the right decision. Even one of our experienced actors here, he's been in 23 commercials, he's done a ton of stuff, and his agent still won't let him be part of union, because they're still waiting for the big fish, because he's really building up his resume, so that when he starts going for the big motion pictures, he has a resume to back up, to back all that up.
Okay, so we should wait until your resume has
and that's a big question to talk to your agent, because to get SAG, that only goes through agencies, and your agent they should know you and know what you're going out for, and so they will tell you, hey, you're ready, or we need some more time. We need to build up your resume more, because once you're part of the union, you're the big boys, you're the NBA, and now you're playing with all the NBA players. It's not college, it's not high school, So the problem is, you get into the NBA, you were the big fish over here, but now you're a minnow, and this bigger pond is the ocean, of what is SAG, So you want to make sure you baby steps get in there.
Right. So we know that Atlanta is considered now the big Hollywood of the South. Okay. Coming from New York, Los Angeles, what are some major differences do you see about the industry down here than up there?
Professionalism.
Okay.
Yeah. People don't take it serious here. There's a wonderful, wonderful market here. If you lived in New York and you lived in LA, if you came here, you'd be like, oh my God, it's a free market, because no one's taking it serious. People want things to be done for them, and it's like, nah, man, this is you have to work for it. This is a business, So that is, but that's a pro and con, because con for some, it's not saturated like Los Angeles or New York City, but when you come here, if you've been in LA, New York, I mean, you have a huge advantage over people that are here. The problem is that people here have never been to LA and New York, so they think the bar is here when really it should be here, But again, for those that know that, if you know that it's here and you come here, you're like, oh my God, this city's mine, But if you try to do that in Los Angeles and New York City, everybody's already here, and you're having to work that much harder. So this is the best place to be right now, because if you don't really know Los Angeles and New York City, if someone were to teach you, like what we do, teach you, hey, this is what LA and New York standards are really like, and this is where you should be, you would just dominate the industry.
Oh, wow. What are some major scams or struggles that you've seen actors get tied up in over and over again?
Quite a few, man, but classes, I tell people, make sure you know who you're studying from, because a lot of people are like offering classes, yet this person's never done anything. It goes back to the whole basketball thing. Why are you teaching me how to do basketball when you've never played the game yourself? Spending too much money on like showcases and stuff like that. Some that go for $5,000-$10,000 to meet with some agencies, and you want to be careful with that, because if you're not ready, you're just wasting your money. So there's a lot of people want the opportunity, but no one's put the preparation to meet those opportunities. So you've got to prepare, man. You got to be in classes to be ready for that kind of stuff. A lot of people just want to be given the Marvel contracts, and yet they've never acted in their life. Because I'm like, yes, because acting's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is extremely difficult to do. It's like any other business. You know, you got to put in your dues. You gotta work up to it.
Great. And last but not least, what are some struggles that you have endured making your dreams a reality?
That's a good question. I guess the struggle of consistency. You know, you book one thing and you're like, yeah, I'm good, you know, and then like 9 months will go by and you haven't booked another thing, you know, and being able to stay in that game. I think, and this goes back to one of the other questions you talked about of being flexible, you know, because if you do have a dry spell, you have that that job to help you get through those times, you know. Because if acting is what you really want to do, you know, it's going to take some time for you to get things constant, where you constantly have a check coming in through this commercial, that TV show, what have you. But it's just trying to find that groove, you know, until you make it. And then once you make it, then, you know, then you're living your dream. And now you have a career and not a job, you know. So it's finding that consistency to keep you in the game. Because a lot of people get burned out and they're like, I can't do this anymore because I'm not making money now. I got to go get a real job, you know. And now you're stuck doing what everybody else does. You know?
Great. So you say consistency is a key. I guess being patient in spite of.
Yeah, treat it like a business. Any real business takes 2 years minimum to get profit going, to get something going. You know, when people are like, they expect 2 months, I need something, I'm like, man, this is a business. Like, what business can you start to make money in 2 months, you know? Not many, you know, a lot of business owners that I talk to that aren't even in acting, I'm like, wow, it took you 3 years, wow, it took you 2 years, took you 5 years, you know, to learn their niche, their market, what works, and then keep the consistency of that going. It takes time. This is a business. It's called show business for a reason. So when an actor gets in, it's going to take you 2 years to find out what is your niche, what's your mark, where do you fit in this business. Then once you find it, then you got to keep it going, you know. But yeah, it's just consistency, staying in it.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I have a little game that I would like for you to play really quickly.
Okay.
It's called The Best. Okay. So I'm going to name off actors, movies, and you just got to tell me, you know, if it's the best. What is the best to you?
Okay.
So, best actor of all time.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Why?
He's freaking amazing, man. I steal everything from him. And just the movies, all the TV shows. He's been in Sherlock Holmes. He played Sherlock in Sherlock Holmes. He's just incredible, man. He's talented. Hope to God I'm even half the actor that he is. But yeah, he's just incredible to watch.
Great. Best movie of all time.
Oof, of all time. It's tough. If it's slapstick, like stupid, Dumb and Dumber is one of my go-tos. Really good writing. Actually, just watched it with my students the other day. Good Will Hunting. It's an older film, but man, it's just great writing. It's something that I would love to have been in. I think it's something like that. What can I see myself in? You know, Good Will Hunting. I was like, man, I would love to play that character. You know.
Great. Best voiceover of all time.
Ooh, Earl Jones, man. The Lion King, you know, awesome. Is that? I wish I could talk like that, talk to the kids, you know, like that. Yeah, easily.
Best animation of all time. Ooh.
I had a really big heart for Aladdin for some reason. Grew up watching that. Love Aladdin. It's just so funny. Good Will Hunting. Robin Williams, you know, played the genie in that, and just a beautiful combination because yeah, he was the genie in that, which is this crazy comedy type deal, and then Good Will Hunting, he's just a serious actor, and he played both beautifully, you know. So yeah, they allowed it.
Yes. All right. Well, there you all have it, Mr. Lance Camarillo with Acting Out Studios. Remember, you can make your dreams a reality. Okay. All right. Peace.
Spit some knowledge to y'all real quick. Agape love is an unconditional love. It's a love that sees beyond the outer surface and accepts the love for who they are.
Yo, I just want that agape love. Never falls down.